There are 8 of us on the boat, 5 aquarists, that's fish keepers, and 3 anglers, big game anglers. This can cause problems because the anglers need different locations to catch their fish than the aquarists do. But we're all on the boat together to make this trip possible, so we're going to have to work together to accommodate each other's needs, at least for the next 3 weeks.
This Amazon River in all its names, it could be an ocean. Half the species that are here, we know nothing about their life histories. We don't know whether fish we're seeing this big are juveniles of fish that we see this big, because nobody has recorded their life histories from when they're hatching to when they're adult. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of species. Every time I come back here, I realise how little we know about the planet that we've got. What about you, John?
Well, I'd like to see if we can find some new Corridora species. But whether we're going to be able to get far enough up to do that,
right,
remains to be seen.
But we talked to Mo last night at the other boat, and when we asked him how far we had to go for new species, what did he say?
Well, it's quite a long way.
No, what did he say?
I can't remember.
200 miles. 200
miles. Yeah.
The peacock bass is one of the most widespread species in the Amazon, so it doesn't matter where they are. But we need to get in areas where this boat can't go. Right. So Agenda 1 is what we're tied into.
Yeah.
No. Right. Yeah. Now, there's something tied into that. Somebody needs to liaise with Miguel. Somebody in our group needs to be the one who actually says, like I did, I want you to stop this boat here. Somebody needs to discuss with him, when are we going to eat? So I think at some stage, that second part of the agenda should be who is going to be that person. Because everybody can't do it. Now, I'll put myself forward, of course.
Somebody from each side of us, the fishing side and a...
well, that's not a bad idea.
Because otherwise it could go very biased one side, couldn't it?
Possibly, yeah.
Well, I think there's a danger of having 2 liaising will just be a nightmare for Miguel. I think we've got to pick one.
I think it needs to be one. Now, the only reason I'm putting myself forward is, one, I've had 20 years of coming to Brazil. I've no real axe to grind, although people might think I have. I just want us all to have a good time. I'll communicate with you, or someone else you choose, OK? But somebody who does that has to be able to tell everybody, because I can't be doing with this wishy-washy, what the bloody hell are we doing?
So you're putting yourself forward as the new redcoat?
I just said. If that's what you want to call me, Derek, I'll be quite happy with that. Now, I'm putting myself forward. If somebody else wants to put themselves forward, then I'm fine. But that is Agenda 2, unless you want to make it Agenda 1. I claim this island on behalf of the expedition, and I name it Pepperland. If only this was a clear lagoon and we were catching fish that we want to catch. I feel like I'm stuck in some kind of manana syndrome. You know this, tomorrow. Everything's about what we can do tomorrow. And when you get to tomorrow, there's another tomorrow. And you've got people who want to be involved, who want to do their thing. We have common goals, and then we have paradoxes. You know, anglers want to stab fish, they want to drag them out the water and show how big they are. You know, they're in a competition. We think we're not in a competition, but we are. Derek's straight in the water, scratches his legs because he wants to be first in there to catch a fish. You know, you get all this personality crap, you know, people wanting to be whatever they are and extending their own personalities. And here we are on an island that I've claimed for us as expedition leader, elect, and I elected myself, I have to admit. And what have I got? No fish. That's the problem. I think we should be in a different environment, boys and girls. It's either that or you should start flower arranging. Instinct says take charge. Say, you know, F it to everybody. We'll go 200 miles up the Rio Branco and come back with something exciting. But maybe that's my agenda. Maybe it's not their agenda.
That's a good place. This is called a jerkbait, David. Look and learn.
I say I'm looking, I'm learning. It just looks like a silly bloody toy coming down the water.
It works, though.
You've got all the ingredients for a great cake. And what have we got at the moment? Bloody pancake. You know, and here we are, a week into a trip that has been frustrating, it's been long. Some of it's been lovely, but I don't want to be a tourist. And as soon as I throw it, it goes, yeah? And can I throw it that far?
Yeah. Keep hold of the rod, for God's sake.
Ah, okay.
Otherwise you're swimming. Watch, Chris, I'd put your head right down if I was you, because you're going to go somewhere.
Was that not
Okay,
bad?
now start twirling the handle.
So you need my guidance, really, don't you? I want to be in the places. I want to be there now. And everybody's pointing at a map and saying, there's a Clearwater Lagoon. And so when do we get there? Well, maybe tomorrow. You know, all I want to do is catch some fish. Right, lads, I'm bored with that now. I've shown you how to do it, so carry on.
You had enough now?
Well, I think I might snag somebody, and I would hate to do that. I am fond of you all.
Oh, thank you.
2 weeks before the trip, I get a call from Derek. He said I'd broken this biopiracy law and that I could be arrested as soon as I got into Brazil. It could be applied retrospectively and involved the fact that I'd described these new species of catfish from the upper Rio Negro and I'd deposited them in Liverpool Museum instead of in a Brazilian museum. Now at the time there was no such law, so it would be a retrospective problem. Once we checked with a government agency that I wasn't on some kind of death list, I then suspected that all they wanted to do was get me off the trip. Are you ready, John, for this meeting? Come on, mate, let's get it together. Come on, Derek! Right.
Where's Derek?
He's downstairs for some reason or other. I don't bloody understand, but there you go. It's not worth it. If we can work together, then that's what matters. So
There's nothing specific that's pissed him off.
not that I know. He's got this idea in his head that what we're doing is academic. You know, whatever we say doesn't matter. But in the short term, in the immediate term, we've got to plan things. And if he's got a problem with the plan, he should be sat here saying it's a problem. I think, you know, sitting away like that.
We may agree with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, at least he could humour us.
Well, no, what I'm saying is he might have a valid point, but if he's not here, he's got no point to say at all, has he? Yeah. It's like schoolboy, isn't it? I'm not coming to your meeting because, you know, I'm taking my ball
That
home.
seemed a bit bizarre.
But if you could talk to him, Giles, because I think we suggested as a group that we were going to have meetings to discuss things, didn't we? You know, it just pisses me off. I think he should be here. I mean, do you want to go and ask him now, Giles?
Oh, well, if you want, yeah.
I wouldn't mind. Just see what he says to you.
All right, I'll go and sound him out.
Excellent.
Mr. Diplomatic man.
Derek, come to wheel you out. We're not having you sitting on your own now.
I don't think it's right.
So we've got to avoid this conflict by trying to get on with each other, haven't we?
Yeah.
Whether
But
we like each other or not, which on the whole we do.
But I think there is a slightly different agenda. It seems the problems come from him. I mean, maybe we need to help him.
I think you do.
As a group.
I think you definitely do.
But-
if you're sort of aggressive towards him, will it?
I'm not aggressive towards him, Chris. I've asked him to come into the meeting and I've tried to speak to him about a few things. But he obviously, he feels this meeting's a waste of time.
Right, well, maybe hopefully Giles can sort of persuade him that it's not, and he'll make some sort of contribution.
Good excuse for getting down. Right, tell us a story, Giles.
Yeah, he's not into it, sadly. There's a very good reason why he doesn't want to be seen as being part of it. I can just, that's all I can tell. I can't tell. He's asked me not to.